So I started recording now. Like that, the colleagues that could not join today, they can watch it afterwards. And I will share my screen now. So if you cannot see it, please let me know. Just a second. So I'm sharing my screen. You can see the GORS page in the workplace. I keep saying Facebook is wrong. So let's go to GORS Global Help Desk. So after I finish this webinar, I will be saving it here on Learning Resources. You can click here on the top or you can click here on the side. And we have now the webinar part of it that is here. So I will be adding this one here. Like I put those that we did in August. So the September one will be here. The other thing I wanted to show you in the Learning Resources is that we have here a PowerPoint that I prepared for last year reporting that to show you how to quality check GORS data using the Power BI. So here you have page by page, what are the different filters you can use, and also some questions you should ask yourself on how to do the quality check of using the Power BI. So what are the criteria that we'll go? We'll go for content, we'll go for coherence, and what questions you will ask yourself. So everything is in this PowerPoint. Now showing the different questions that they are also in a checklist on how to check the quality of your GORS data. Today, my idea is more to show you how to use the Power BI and not go exactly on the questions because they are all here. And we can follow up with one going on the questions in doing a case study, for example, if there is interest from your end. So let's get started. The Power BI, normally I will access it using my Office 365. And hi. Sorry for the interruption. Okay, so normally to access my Power BI, I will open my Office 365 using Okta. So I get in Okta, I open 365, sign in, they show me real, like they know I'm Brazilian, and then I will click on Power BI. If your Power BI is not visible here, you can click on all apps, and then you see all the apps you have in your computer, and then you can go and open your Power BI. To find the link to the dashboard you will use for quality checking data, you can go in the GORS Global Help Desk dashboards, clicking on here on the top, or in the main menu, you can click here, use of GORS data. It will bring to the same page, and the quality check is here. This is the link that go direct, but it will only work if you are logged into 365. If you are not, it will not work to click this link. Or you open your Power BI and you go in apps. If you never use it before, then you need to put the name of the app. If you have used before, it will be here. So those are the different dashboards that were developed, most of them by Himanshu. And here is NRC GORS data quality. So when you open, it's a bit scary, I know. But when you open the Power BI, you will have here different tabs with the different reports that you can use to quality check your data. I will just make it full page. If you cannot see it, please let me know. So I have a global access, so I have more than one country. And this will be the case for Anna, for example, from the regional office, that she will see the countries of her region. So here is easier to see. We have my first page is about outputs at the country level. I have an arrow to go to the beginning of my dashboard or to the end using the arrow on the left corner down. So here I have the first of all tabs will be outcomes, area office level. We are not quality checking outcomes yet, so we can do this one later, but the principle will be the same. Then we have an outcome at country level, and here where GORS will aggregate the data, and outputs. For the outputs, you can see here we have outputs country level, area office level. This one allows us to check the output for a specific country. So I will go to Iraq because I did my training with Iraq. Here I have all the projects of Iraq. For all the years we have any data reported. And if it's going to 2020, most likely it will be targets. So it's important to choose the filter you want to have the correct data. Last time we used it, it was for 2018 data. But now we are checking the 2019. We just finished T2. And it's a good time to check it and avoid too many confusion next year. So we are in the country. We can choose an area office if we want to check by area, or we can go directly for the projects. If I don't choose a project, it is aggregating the indicators for all projects that use this indicator. So when you look, for example, for the number of learners enrolled here, it will be for all projects that has this indicator reported in the system. One practical thing with Power BI is that if you click on one line, it will call the attention for this line. So to get rid of it, if you click in another line, you have only the other line. So you click again on the same line and you have your report back. This can be a bit scary sometimes, at least for me at the beginning, but I just click exactly where you click the first time and your data is back. So to see the outcome by report, by grant, you just select the grant you want to check. So let's imagine that we want to check the 1913, that is the SIDA. So here it will give me exactly the indicators that are in the data set and the values that were reported. The advantage we have using Power BI with respect to the pivot tables in GORS is that when you do the pivot table in GORS, if you use the disaggregation male and female, you will only see indicators that have this disaggregation. So those indicators here, that is the number of legal assistant cases opened, the legal identity, and HLP, the different cases of legal assistant open, they will not appear on your pivot table from GORS because don't have the disaggregation female and male. So to see all indicators using the pivot table, you will have to do a report without the disaggregation. And sometimes we really need to have it with the disaggregation. So this is the big advantage using Power BI. The second thing is that you will have the percentage of the target, and this helps to see the quality. So if we look here, infinity, it means that the target was missing. So when you divide the actuals by the target to see how much you got, it gives infinity because there is no value here. So it means that someone has to enter those targets. Here, the other thing we can see is that everything is 100%. So the value that was entered for the target is the same as the actual. And normally it doesn't work like this in the reality side of things. So it's something to check. Okay, those entering data is repeating what they enter for the actuals to the targets. And this is why everything is 100%. So it's something to have a look and fix. But it was not my idea here, sorry guys. So by going grant per grant, you will be able to see what is your data set and what was reported. So here is a good example. We have for the number of children and youth participating in recreational activities. We have the actual, the target, 70% achieved, and the project is ongoing. It's a this year project, is the NMFA project, the framework one. So if you click again, you can see the full page. So this is the idea how to, the first step to use the Power BI for checking the quality of the data. So here I look at the country level, but if we go for the area office level, actually we'll have the same, but the default will be by area office. The difference is here the default is by the country, but you can still choose area office. And in this one, it comes already by area office. So depending on what you have to see, you can prefer to open direct by area office. So since I clicked here, it's showing only this one, but I click it again and then we'll be able to see other areas of offices. But you can also filter the area office here. So as I said, I have the full data because I'm using the global access. But if I go to Iraq, then here I can see the areas of our area offices in Iraq with the projects. And here again, I can see the data. At the end, both reports show the same thing. It's just what is the default presentation. Is by the country, and then you choose the area office, or is sorry here. And then I choose the area office I want, and it will give different data. Or if I go direct with the breakdown prepared for me. Any questions up to now? So I will keep, and if you have questions, please write in the.
Hi, Erica, I have a question. For example, if we applied some filters on one tab, so will they appear on another tabs or not?
It can happen. So in this case, if some things are, especially for you, Anna, that have more than one country appearing, it can be confusing sometimes because the filter will pass to other tabs when you have multiple countries. Then you just take out from the full screen mode. If you have this one, you see receipt to default orange. It means that some filters are in some places. So you just click on this one and say yes, please, and all the filters will be taken out. Then you see I'm not in Iraq anymore.
Yeah.
I have all the countries here, and I can choose again. So then is the easiest way to be sure that you clear all the filters. If you know what filters you used, for example, if I put Cameroon here, and I want to reset, I can also click here, and it will deselect what is selected. It's quite practical, for example, because if by mistake, I select this project, and then I come here, I cannot select whatever country, and then I got a bit lost because I cannot see that there is a report select here.
Yeah? Yes, but sometimes it's useful, for example, to apply some filter on outputs, and then I move to the tab outcomes, and I want this filter appear. Does it work like this, or when I move through the tabs, I have to apply filters on each tab separately?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Here is all, and here, no, it was, now here I put Afghanistan.
Yes.
And then I come here, it's still all countries.
Okay.
But here, for example, is marked in 2018.
Yeah.
So if I put reset, then I'm sure that I can decide what I want to clear all the tables.
Okay, thanks.
2018.
Yeah.
This I will see with the Himanshu if maybe, yep, maybe we don't have 19 on this one. I will double check why The first one is
Okay.
18 anyway. Now it's not. Okay. So what I advise is always to reset to default.
Okay.
Because actually your case is special, and most of people, they have only the country they are working on.
But for example, year or area office.
Yeah, the problem with the area office is that you have a different level reporting. So here is the country level. So and here will be area office level. So if the filter passed through, it would be confusing maybe. I can see your point that, okay, I choose to see this report and then I want to see it on all pages. But actually the data you'll see in the country level and the area office level at the end would be quite similar. But I can see if it's possible to have the filters across tabs.
I can't say that this is some requirement or something. I just wanted to clarify how filters work currently. So just understand that yes, we have to be careful with filters and watch the filters, not to confuse ourselves.
Yeah.
Moving from tab to tab.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for the clarification. I thought as a requirement. So this is for the outputs, if you want, by project level or by area office. Then we have the unique beneficiaries. So here is by location and core competency, meaning by this. Now this is, yes, sorry. So you remember that in the past we have the GLX2, X3, that would be by core competency. Now actually we've made the breakdown of the X3 in different core competencies. So now we have the total unique beneficiaries for camp management, we will have for education, for livelihoods, those different total beneficiaries for each one of the core competencies. And this normally we report at the area office level, most country offices, some report at the office level. So the tab unique beneficiaries by location and core competencies refer by the those indicators by the area offices in your country. So here, Afghanistan, I could go for DRC, for example, 2019. So I have the different area offices and what was reported as total beneficiaries. The principle is the same. We have the breakdown in female and male, actual and targets, and the percentage of the target that was reached. So sometimes when you have a too low percentage, it's because it's not yet completely reported. Or that the target was mis-entered, could be one or the other. So this also help to check the quality of the data and avoid the problems in the end of year reporting. Then we have the total unique beneficiaries. That will be the X1. That is what we call the by location. In this case, it's not by core competency, but is if one beneficiary received the help in two or more core competencies, this person appear only once. And here again, it goes by area office and by country. So if I choose, if I was in Colombia, I would see this data. So here we have the different okay. So I'm just looking at the difference. So here is area office level, here is country office level, and here is regional office level. You in the country office, you have the country office or only the area office, depending on your access. And you have the regional office level also. So you can see the full Latin America by looking here, for example. And here you can see the full Colombia and whoops. And here you can see the area offices in Colombia, for example. So I was in 18, I need to change to 19, and then I will see what was reported this year. So we can see that Here, in the north area office, they report the actual, but the target was too small, so it's given some figures that suggest that the target was not completely entered, for example. So this is for the quality check also. And here you have the GLX2. So here it was the core competence X1. Here is the GLX1 total unique beneficiaries. And here it will be the beneficiaries project, that is the X2. So clicking on the year you want to see and the country you are. So let's go. I was in Iraq, so let's go to Iraq. And then I will have a per project what they reported here at the area office level and here at the total project level. Then the next one, they are the comparing actual and targets by displacement status. It's just a visualization. So the vertical bar is the target and the green one is the actual. So here we can see we had more host community than targeted. We have more IDPs than target. Here's 2018 data, so I changed to 2019. Here we still have to achieve for host community. We achieve more than targeted for IDPs, so it could be that we overachieved or that the target is wrong and we need to fix. Other we underachieved, so it could be that the part of those we targeted as other were received as IDP, for example. So here you can see the different displacement status and how it is the actual with the target. So you saw that I got in my last tab here, so I can click on the arrow and I can see what other tabs are available. This one is marked in yellow underneath, so I know the next one will be this one. Here there are some charts. This is more to have the visual side. If someone asks you a report, then you can put, for example, the unique beneficiaries. So I will ask Himanshu to change the default year to 2019 because it was last year, the default year when you open some page of the report. Otherwise, you can change it manually like I did by choosing 2019. And here I have for the full organization, but if I go back to Iraq, I will have what was reported in 2019 by displacement status. So here is GLX1. We can see that we have more returnees than any other group. And here will be beneficiaries per core competency also for Iraq. So here is camp management, education, ICLA, and then we can have the visualization of which group received the word beneficiary in each core competency. Then it comes the data set to data element. What this one shows me is that here it will look a bit confusing, but please stay with me. So if I was, because I have the global access, I can see all data sets that were produced inside GORS. But if I was in Iraq, I would see only the Iraq data sets, okay? So by choosing one data set, for example, if I take the 1902 UNHCR, then I can see which indicators I have in the data set. So it's quite an easy way to see, okay, which indicators are in the data entry form for the IQFM 1924, for example, and then I can double check if everything that should be reported is in the data entry form or not. So this helps to quality check your data sets in the system. So the 1925 has only one this is for output. So I have only one output. And here's for all disaggregations. So I can also, if I wanted, I can, in this case is only, sorry, delete the filter. And then here I can choose if I wanted to see a specific disaggregation and find out which data set has it. I can click on the disaggregation, and here I will see which data element has this disaggregation. And if I was in the country office, I would see which data set is using this data element, because I have a global, it's a bit more complicated to visualize. But this page is to help you to see what is in each one of your data sets. Data set being the form that will create the data entry form. Here is the opposite. So I need to know who is reporting on education. Then I can just go and see, okay, which indicator I want to know. I want to know the teachers trained. And by clicking here, I can see all data sets that I use this indicator. So if you need to do a specific correction in the data or a specific research for certain groups of indicators, and then you can come here and see which of your data sets have this indicator. Then for the project overview, here you can see the overview of all NRC projects. I can choose if I want to see by donor. So if I wanted to see in my country office all ECHO projects I have, I would click ECHO here, and then I would have ECHO projects in Afghanistan, in my case, because I have a global. You would have all ECHO projects for your grants. I clicking on this small rubber on the top, I can take out the filter. I can choose projects by team, if it's alternative education, employment law and procedures in ICLA. So by clicking by team from the theory of change, I can also have a list of all projects that I have this team. So it is by project. Here I will have the country office and the donors that gave to this country office inside this team. And here I have the link between the donor and the project inside this team also. And the difference is that this would be for Anna. She would have from the different countries in her area that are in the team, but those in the country office will have only for their country office. So if you take alternative education is a large one, then here you have the different countries. It's not only one country, but all countries in your region would appear here. By donor and by grant, what we have in alternative education. Here is by country, by donor, and then with the grants. And it's a bit repetitive, but if you need just to filter down, you can do like this. For a quick overview, this is the last one. So one interesting thing here that I didn't, so if I can come, this is counter output data. So if I come again on Iraq, I'm using my filter for Iraq here. Sorry, I lost the one I wanted. I want the area office level. So let's stay in Afghanistan just to do it different. So you can see that here you have some arrows. So when you click on the arrow here, before I had so the top level we can have here is for the country. So here we have the full output data for the country. These figures don't mean too much because we are adding up all indicators and this is not correct, but you can aggregate up or down the data. So here is by area office or target versus actual for all indicators, all projects and all years. Here we can go down one more level. And while it's not light gray, you can go down. So then here we have by indicator. This one can be interesting when you are working with the total unique beneficiaries, because by here I have area office level. So by clicking up, I am aggregating up the data. Now I'm country level. So this one I had Colombia. You can see that now is adding up for Colombia. Then it goes up for Latin America. And now I have the global figures. So depending on your level of access, you can drill up or drill down to have more details or less details. So I think that now I will give some space for questions. Okay, I can see. I don't, Kennedy, what do you mean by visualize the data manually? I have the question from Kennedy that I was asking if it's possible to visualize the data manually and monthly. No, we don't have a monthly data on the present. Just writing this one down. I will see with Himanshu if we can make one dashboard with monthly data, and I can revert to you on this one afterwards. Then we could have one that would show the country office level and the possibility to choose the month. Is what you're asking me, Kennedy. Okay, so I will see with Himanshu if we can create one. Then it would be this one for the outcome, target versus actual. And here you would have your country. So we have the area office level, the projects, and the year, and then the month. I can revert to you on this one. Any other question? So, so this is what I planned to show you today. So if you have no question in the short run, I just want to remind you that with your Power BI here, you can always search an app. So if I wanted an app I don't have here, I can put the name here. So if I want let's say the ICLA dashboards, it will show here, or I can go more and try to find clicking on Get Apps, whatever we have inside the organization that is about ICLA. I don't think we have too many, so let me say cash, because cash I know we have more. So then here I can see cash and markets that Roger prepare. And here is the one Himanshu prepare. If I didn't have it on my Power BI, I would click on Get Apps, and this would search all cash dashboards created in the organization. I don't know if there is any other. So there is this one from, okay, so there is no cash, so they show everything that was created in the organization. Most of them are from Himanshu, but there are other people creating. So a supply chain, for example. So we can see everything that is in Power BI, actually you can access by using Get Apps. Once you got it, and you click on Apps, it will appear here. So I have the main dashboards here. Here is the data quality. And I can see the data by just clicking on it, and I will see for the country I have access to. Some dashboards, they will not be available for everybody, but you have always a possibility to ask the creator of the dashboard to give you access to this one. So here, if I go back to Iraq and I choose 2019, then I will see, okay, what I have reported on the multi-propose cash this year for Iraq country office. So if I were in a different country office, by default, it will appear the country you are in. So in case of Afghanistan, we have more indicators linked to the cash that were reported this year. So always clicking on the apps, you will see what is available in the organization as dashboard for you to access. The other way to find it is on the GORS Global Help Desk. I'm always doing publicity for it, I know, but clicking on the use of GORS data or on dashboards on the top. And here there are the links for the different dashboards that exist. You get it for the country you have access. Here is how you ask for the Power BI license, and this is with the global ICT, is not with us. But here is the step-by-step, how you buy it, how much it will cost, how is the process to buy it. The renewal, everything will be here, because it's not M&E who manage the Power BI, because it's part of 365, then you need to do with ICT. Here there is a webinar that Himanshu did some time ago on how to start using Power BI. So by clicking here, you can watch the video. And here is the Microsoft training on Power BI. So this is how to easy access the data. Remember that you need to be in our 365 logged in, otherwise it will not open the Power BI. Any other question? Oh, there was no question, but anything else you would like to ask me? The MS Power BI training is available here. If you go in the Global Help Desk on dashboard and you click Getting Started with Power BI, I did it. It's fantastic. It's really, really nice way they did. You have the time for the full module, so the full Getting Started. So you click here, you will have the different models. You click on the Start, and then you have an introduction. You can go part by part. It explains you, and then you can continue. When you go back, it will be marked what you did already. And you see which models you did already. And it's quite practical because you can see, okay, introduction, you need 6 minutes, use of Power BI 2. And by going one by one, they will have the screenshots. They have some videos also, so you can watch the video and then you go and look at the screenshots. So I found it a quite a good tool, and you have it by clicking on Getting It Started. So yeah, so if you want to do model or visualization, then you can begin. There is in different language, so you can have it in French, you can have in the language of your choice. You will have a short video and the text, and then you go on next, and then you can have short video, the screenshots to remind you if you forgot anything. So it's a really, really good tool to learn. So just go in the GORS dashboard. The last link will show you if you want to create the dashboard yourself. Any other question? If there is no questions, then I would invite you, if any question appear afterwards, or if you have any follow-up training you would like on the use of dashboard, send me an email. Hi, Danielle. Okay, so I would like to thank you very, very, very much for coming. We have 12 connections to this training, and it's really nice. And I would like to invite you to write me an email and tell me what you would like, which topic you would like me to cover in the next Wednesday. We do GORS Day on a Wednesday in October. I still need to fix which Wednesday it will be. And but I will keep you informed of this. And please send me an email, say I would like to learn this topic, I would like to see more about this point. Once we include the month, I can make a quick video showing how to use the filters with the month. The most important thing I found for you now is remember that when you are in a dashboard, if you cannot see exactly the data you wanted to see, always look, if you have this reset marked in orange, it means you are using a filter. So the moment I choose something here, sorry, is the moment I use any filter, the reset to default appear here. So if the data is strange, you can always reset and filter again. This is the thing to retain that I consider quite practical and important for you to use. For the rest, we are always adding on the learning resources, the different tutorials. Now we have the how to create a data set using the data set configuration app that actually is also following the model of the Microsoft one. I made a small video explaining how to use it, and I add up the text and the different screenshots to remind you what is in the video, so you don't need to watch the full video if you forgot only a small detail, especially with this disaggregation and gray fields. So, and this is available on learning resources. So I have some other questions here. So someone is asking if it is possible to have access to create different dashboards. It is possible, then you talk with us, but it's a bit more tricky to learn. So I will talk with Himanshu for adding the filter to have the data per month already, so it will help you. But to create a dashboard, it gives a bit more work than this. So you need to go in the full training and see if you really want that, and then you talk with us and we talk about access. So the next session we will have this afternoon, it will be it will be a training on entering data. So I will cover how you enter data using the data entry form, marking complete, if you want to fix the data, how you do, and also the entering data for the total unique beneficiaries. So for those interested, it will be at 1:30 Oslo time, so in 3 hours from now. And the link for the Zoom room is in the workplace and on the GORS Global Help Desk. So if you click on the main page here, I have the webinars, and here there is the link. When you open this one, you have the link to the Zoom meeting. So hope to see you there. If you think about anyone that needs to learn something, just let me know, and let me know what you would like to learn. Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Erika.
Thank you, Anna.
Yeah.
And, send me your suggestion, guys.
Okay, thanks. Okay. Let's stay in touch.
Yes, let's stay in touch. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you, Lilian.